What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 61 of the Geek Cast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend from the UK.
That's right, Bobby.
Toby. What is up, Toby?
What is up? Say hello to my little Riley.
The little pain in the butt.
Yeah. You know what? I was listening to the latest If We Ran Nintendo.
Yes.
And I was listening to poor Sean getting a bit upset that I said, that I was your best friend.
Yeah. And,
there's a bit of a rivalry going on between us now. And you know what? Like, I feel like it's a friendly rivalry in that, like, I'm like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, and he's like Gary Oak. So he's like, I think that's what I want to personify our rivalry as. Like,
okay.
So
yeah, it's funny because he's like, he sends me the message earlier in the day, and he's like, I'm furious. And I'm like, or he's like, I'm 1 minute into the Geek Cast and I'm furious. And I'm like, dude, what could have happened in the first minute that he's mad, right? So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I played the part where Toby refused to do the Daniel Craig stuff. Like, maybe he wanted to hear about that. Like, then all of a sudden I go, oh, the best friend stuff. And I was like, dude, come on. It was just, and he goes, I'm not a sensitive baby or something. So it was funny. It was good. I was like, so then I was like, well, you got your chance to bring it up later on because this was on Monday. So I was like, we're recording tonight, so you can. He goes, no, I'm not going to continue. I'm going to let it go. And I was like, that's why I brought it up, because he wasn't going to bring it up. So I was like, let me just throw a little jab in there to get him a little torqued up and stuff. So it was, he makes me laugh. That guy is, dude, he is so funny. I don't know if you watch Nerdflix and Chill. It's his other podcast that he has.
No, I've been meaning to, because
he's got these little outbreak videos that he throws up.
All right. I've seen some of the little intro things he puts up.
Oh my God, they're hilarious. But that's what I go through every single week. Like, behind the scenes, that's what, like, when it's time to go, he starts doing stuff like Alan used to, like you and Alan used to like keep talking back and forth, and I was like, oh. But he'll do it, like, he'll just start like singing and all, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I want to start. Let's go. And he's like, and he's like, don't be mean to me. And like, he gets all like, it's a funny, man. He is a trip.
Yeah, Sean's a good guy.
Yeah, he is. So let's start this show off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs. What are you geeking out about, Tobes?
Well, I'm geeking out about is one of Karina's work friends. Her name's Kelly. A while ago, she bought some tickets for a live orchestra, the Symphonic Fantasies London, which is music from Square Enix.
Oh, wow.
And she had like 7-8 tickets or whatever, and she didn't have anyone to go with, so she because like people will let her down or whatever, so she ended up inviting Karina and I. So we're going. It's on the 6th of October.
Nice.
And it features music from Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger, and Chrono Cross.
Dude, all the best, other than Chrono Cross. I never listened to Chrono Cross.
Yeah.
All the best games in terms of music, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it because I've never been to a video game orchestra. I've always wanted to go to the Zelda Symphony of the Goddess, but like, free tickets, and it's a cool like orchestra to go and see. Like, yeah, I'm excited about it.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. Myself, I am geeking out about. This week I bought an indie box. I've been meaning to do this for like a year, and I just keep putting it off. But Image and Form like posted on Facebook that like they were partnering kind of with IndieBox, and they were also throwing in a free code for an HD version for the computer of SteamWorld Dig. And I was like, that's not really what pushes me over the edge for it, but like it's a whole SteamWorld Dig themed indie box. And I was like, I want this thing. Like, I've been wanting this one in particular, because you know how much of a big fan I am of that game. I've been wanting this one in particular for so long. And like every time I would go and think about it, and I'd go look, and I was like, I just didn't have the money at that moment. I was like, I'll go back in in a couple of days when I get paid, and I would always forget. And then like months later, I was like, oh, they don't have them no more. I ain't gonna worry about it. And then because they would sell out and they would bring them back. They'd sell out and they bring them back.
If people don't know what Indie Box is, basically it's a company that takes indie games, like most of the time they're on PC, sometimes they're console indie games that don't really have a physical release, and they make a special box with like art books and like all different like things. Sometimes they come with like a USB like Nintendo type cartridge, because it's like these classic retro games have the 16-bit art style and stuff, so a lot of the time they have things like that. Sometimes they come with like USB SNES controllers, and there's like just so many like cool things they put in these boxes, and
but it's all themed around that game.
Exactly.
So everything in that box is themed around that game. Like there's a coaster, right? The one thing that I know that they have is a coaster, and it's the sign that's in SteamWorld Dig that shows the population count, and it says Tumbleton population whatever, and they have a coaster that's identical to that. Like I'm just like, stuff like that is just so cool, man.
Attention to detail, I love it.
Yeah, man. And then I know they have a soundtrack in there as well, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm all for it. So, and then the fact that I'm just getting the game is just a bonus. I've already got the game on pretty much everything as it is. So I mean, but I'll play it again. I was like, I want to play it on my Mac because it's available for Mac, and I'm like, I'm gonna play it on my Mac. Where do I get a controller for my Mac? And I'm like trying to figure it out. So I'm gonna look it up and maybe buy a controller for my Mac this weekend because it's supposed to arrive Monday. So I'm like hyped.
I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if it's the same for Macs. But Sony is releasing the USB dongle thing, so you can use your PlayStation 4 controller with your PC.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
If you could do that, that'd be perfect.
Shame Nintendo doesn't do it because I like to use the Pro controller if I could.
Oh yeah, Pro controller. Awesome.
I love that Pro controller. I was thinking like, man, I like to buy like an NES controller, like a USB NES controller. But then I was like, that would probably work, but I don't think it would work for that game because there's more than 2 buttons to play that game. And then I was like, well, maybe a Super Nintendo one, but I don't know. I had to look around and see. I mean,
the thing with PCs is a lot of the time you have to download like almost like a little app thing that you map the buttons manually, so it can be a bit of a pain, like finding the correct drivers and everything.
I don't know, we'll see. But something we missed last week, we're not going to miss it this week.
Whose fault was that?
It was your fault. We realized after the show, Toby was like, we didn't do what we were playing, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was like, well, we could do it, and I edited it in, and Toby was like, no, forget it. So that's your fault because I was willing to.
It would have broke the flow of the show.
No, I could have just edited it right in. You never would have missed it, man. You never would have known. But it probably would have. It would have messed the flow up of the show because we just moved from one thing right to the next.
Yeah, because I was like, speaking of that, here's our first topic.
Yeah, and exactly. So see,
it was. I admit it was a little bit my fault.
But I'm the host, so I should have caught it and been like, whoa. But it was just like, whatever. Hey, listen, I just coming off vacation, man. I had vacation head. I couldn't remember what episode we were on. I couldn't remember nothing. So what are you playing? Well, let's talk about that.
So just yesterday, I finished Oceanhorn on PlayStation 4.
You did? You beat it?
Yeah, I beat it. Yeah, it took me 9.5 hours.
Okay.
I finished it with 90% completion.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was reading the review on We the Nerdy, and the guy that reviewed it on there said it took him 15 hours. So I was like, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And he finished it with 90% as well. So I don't know. I guess because I play a lot of Zelda games, I was more into the puzzles or whatever.
Yeah. But you know what? The puzzles weren't that hard. Well, so far, I just unlocked the bow the other day, and like you would think the puzzles are nowhere near as difficult as a Zelda game. I feel Zelda games are much more difficult to do.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the puzzles revolve around you push blocks, and there's something to shoot with your bow, or something like a secret area you've got to blow up with a bomb. But that's really all there is to the puzzles. Occasionally, there's something a little more tricky to do with magic spells and the way you manipulate the environment to be able to get around, and because you can, I don't know, I won't spoil it, but basically like it's not just push block and
I think
shoot this, but
but I think it's also a lot of Metroidvania-ish, where
oh yeah, definitely.
you move forward, you get a bow, and then it's like, oh, now I can go back to these other islands I was already at and use the bow in those areas to unlock further mysteries within that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I would say that it's probably more efficient to just go through the story as quickly as possible rather than going back and exploring these other areas, because you'll go to these other islands and you think, all right, so I've got the bow now, I can go here and do this, and then I can go there and do that. But when you get there, there'll be something else you can't do until you've got another item. So it kind of is more beneficial to just do the main storyline until you have all of the main items, and then go and clear up everything. But it's just like play style, what you prefer. I mean, if you want to break from the story, you can just go to the islands and do stuff.
Yeah, but I like it. I've been enjoying it. It's been really
I love it, and I'm trying 100% it now. So I'm very close to it, and I'm trying to get all the trophies as well. Because now I finished it, I was thinking, all right, so I can either start it again and try and speed run it, because it's constantly keeping track of how much time you play it, or I could look for another Zelda style game. So I was thinking, like, what other games are there on PlayStation that are Zelda like in the way that Oceanhorn is? And there aren't that many. There's a few, like I think Hyper Light Drifter is a lot of people say similar to A Link to the Past, but I'm not that keen on the art style with that. Some people say Bastion is quite Zelda-like in a way, so I might get that. It's like £11.99 or something.
Yeah.
So. But if anyone knows any good Zelda-like games on PlayStation, then let us know in the comments. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. What else? Are you playing anything else?
No, that's it. That's taken out my whole week. So.
So I dipped in the Skyward Sword.
Oh, juicy! Tell me, did you love it? Did you love it?
I'm not loving it yet. Okay. I'm still. I just came out of. So basically, I started it last night, and I started playing. I'm in the building that you start, and I picked up the barrel and took it around to the lady at the cooking station, and then I went outside the building, and I saved the cat.
Yeah.
So saved the cat off the roof, and then that's where I stopped. I was like, because I was getting a little tired and I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, you know what? I want to pay attention to what I'm doing here. So I'm really only maybe 30 minutes in, not even that much.
You've got at least another hour of faffing around on the starting island. Yeah, it does have a slow start in the way that Twilight Princess does.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're able to fly, then it gets more interesting and it starts to feel like a proper Zelda game.
My issue already with it is no voice acting. It's like Twilight Princess, where you're reading text and these idiots are moving their lips, and I'm like, oh, why? Even if they did just the like Animal Crossing type stuff where it was just gibberish, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, make your own language up. Like, it's just so weird. I hate that. When I look up on the screen, I'm like, why is his lips moving? Like, it's so stupid.
You can't say that it has any lack of character though. The way that the characters look and they do make little subtle noises, they go like, hey, but like, I think they do such a good job of that, and the way that they're sort of animated when they are gibbering, that it's not like, it's not terrible. It doesn't have voice acting, but I think we are heading into a future where voice acting is going to be.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I actually played with the nunchuck and the Wiimote.
Yeah, how are you finding like using that?
It's because it's been so long. I'm trying to readequate myself with where the buttons are and stuff.
Yeah,
where. When I was playing the Wii, it was a no-brainer. Like, I knew where the A button was, I knew where the C was, the Z was, and all that. So that I'm still trying to get readequated with. But I like the fact that it stays up on the screen, kind of.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you can turn that off. And I think
now I'm leaving.
Yeah, once you learn it, you'll probably want to turn that off.
Yeah, right now I'm leaving it on because I'm not 100% sure where everything is and all that.
Yeah.
But I like the art style. I think the art style is cool. Now, something that I already picked up on that I feel like is in Breath of the Wild to some degree is the intro, how you get woken up, like Link's kind of sleeping or he's in a dream or whatever, and then this voice is telling him to wake up. It's time to get up and stuff. And it's like that reminded me of Breath of the Wild when he's like in that cave and he's sleeping, and then I know it's different. I understand it's different.
But I was going to say that Link waking up is kind of the start to every
game. Yeah, it's always. But I felt like this one was similar to, like, okay, so in Link to the Past, he just wakes up and his uncle's not there.
He doesn't just wake up though. Zelda telepathically talks to him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, wake up.
Which is very similar to in Breath of the Wild, where it's like, Link, wake up.
Yeah, that's true. But now I'm kind of getting the feel for like Skyloft, what the Skyloft is and all that. And like now that I think about it, and I look at like Breath of the Wild and the video that I did with Joey in Commonwealth Realm, where it's like you see that island floating in Breath of the Wild. It's like, is that where this whole game takes, like this game particular starts off? Like it. So I'm interested to get further into the game because I want to see. I feel like this is integral to.
I think if you know what happens at the end of Skyward Sword, then you might change your opinion of that.
Well, that's what I'm going to play it through. I'm going to play it through. I'm going to try to complete it.
Yeah.
So because now that I'm not sleepy and stuff, I'm like I want to jump in and play more of this. I want to check it out and try it and stuff. And it's a Zelda game. I know once I get in to this stuff, I think right now my only fear is like I didn't realize like I actually have to throw and I have to roll like the Wiimote. So that I'm still trying to get under my belt.
Yeah, and some of that can be a bit annoying at times, like especially like rolling bombs. I always found tricky.
Yeah,
that was always like, I'm doing it. I'm clearly doing the motion, but the bomb ain't rolling properly or where I want it to go. Like, but then you do find times where you're fighting enemies and it feels so good that the enemy's holding a shield this way or they're attacking you that way, and you've got to counteract it by swinging the sword in the correct manner. And it adds strategy to the combat that isn't in other Zelda games. So, and it feels satisfying when you get things like that. So.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see where it goes. Right now, I'm not frustrated by it, so that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I'm not even into the game yet, so we'll see. I played Oceanhorn, some of it. I'm probably 4 hours in, maybe. So by that gauge, I'm probably a little less than halfway through because I'm probably not pushing the way you are through it. Although when I got into the bigger dungeons, like when I found the bow, I just like pushed through. Like, it's weird. Like in a Zelda game, you think like, am I going the right way? This one, I never had any hesitation. That like, just keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward, keep pushing forward. Like sometimes you're like, well, I didn't go that way. Should I go that way? And I'm like, I'll just go this way. And then I was like, normally I'd be like, well, maybe I should go back and go there. And I'm like, no, I'm just gonna keep pushing forward. And it led me to where I had to go, and I was always going the right way. So we'll see how that is.
I think Oceanhorn has good level design in that way that it sort of subtly tells you the direction you're meant to be going. And if you want to go off the beaten path a bit, you can. And there are secrets, but a lot of the time it's not necessary to go that way. But if you want to like get all of the hidden stuff, like you do need to explore a little bit.
Yeah. Dipped back into Animal Crossing a little bit. I started to clean up my town.
I read somewhere that there was an update that it removed all of the weeds from your town. What was that? I think it was on Kotaku or something. There was like the new Animal Crossing update. It gets rid of all the weeds.
Well, you might be able to click it to maybe there's something you could do to instantly get rid of them because they know that people haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
And they're going to come back and they're going to be like, I don't want to weed my town.
Yeah.
I have my town set on beautiful, so none of my flowers died.
Oh, all right.
I'll have like 1 or 2 weeds. That's it. Like,
you have gold flowers.
I have gold. That's why I put it to beautiful town.
Yeah.
Well, gold flowers won't die, but I had black roses.
All right. Yeah.
I had blue roses. I have like my town is just filled with hybrids, and there's literally like if there was a grass spot, it was filled with a flower. Like my whole town was that way. So
In
I
your
went
town,
through and started getting rid of the flowers and just lining the paths that I have.
Yeah, I was
with
going to say,
flowers.
like, did you design your own paths? Like, because
Yes.
you can like draw your own pattern and then
Yeah.
slap it on the floor in little squares.
Yeah, I have. It looks like steps, like stairs. Like
Yeah.
when it rolls, and it rolls for a lot, I have it set up where it looks like staircase coming down. And then I have like just paths all over the place. Like it's the whole town, like every house. Like if you stay on the paths, you can get to every house, everything. Like
Cool.
I keep it so you don't go off the paths. You know, you have it. Like I have an actual out of flowers. I built the American flag. I have the American flag on there and stuff. And
You would, wouldn't you?
you know what? I did it because it was like 4th of July. But
I suppose you don't have a sign that says 1776 on it.
well, you know what I do have, and it's kind of, I have a burial for my dog Harvick that died.
Really?
I found on Tumblr, someone did an RIP, like they did it for Halloween. It was a Halloween, so I took an RIP. Right, it was a little block, and it looks like it's built out of cement with it like etched in.
Yeah.
So I put that on the ground, and then I had a sign. The signs you can put outside with the post. So I have the sign, and then I have his picture because I scanned his picture in with this app I had on the phone, and it's like I took an actual picture of him.
Yeah.
So when you're back away from it, it looks identical. Like you can see him perfectly. I put the picture up on the board, and then I put the RIP underneath it. It's right outside my house. So when you walk out of my house, it's right there. And so I did that just as
imagine though, right? That sort of sparks the idea for me that Animal Crossing NX, much higher resolution, like in HD. Imagine the stuff that you can put into that game like that.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome. Like, I mean, I have an app where I can take a picture, scan it in, and it turns it to pixels. And sometimes when you're close to it, you can't see it. But if you hold it back, it's like, oh my God, that's it perfectly. You know what I mean? So like what I would do is if I had certain things I wanted to do, I would scan them in that way and then convert them over. So it's cool. I like it. I'm excited for the update because I just want to see what they have. I want to see what they've done to the game. I know people are just like, oh, it makes no sense or whatever. But like me having all the amiibo and all that stuff, like I'm kind of excited. I want to see what it is. And I have a bunch of amiibo cards. So I just want to see, like, can I bring back some villagers that disappeared on me? How easy is it and stuff? So I'm excited for it. I really am. Because for me, it's not so much because what Nintendo does with Animal Crossing is they always seem to add on. So when they add ideas, they always seem to just add on a little bit. So for me, I look at it and go, I want to see exactly what we can add on to. What we can do and how further we can take it and stuff. So that's why I'm excited about it because I just want to see like, okay, these cards, they're implemented, and I'm sure the cards aren't necessarily going to be implemented in the future, but I'm just curious to see what they do with the game and what changes they make and to look at it and go, okay, this is probably going to stay on. This is going to leave. Because I feel like being mayor in this one is probably going to stay for the future. But what changes will they make to it? What changes will they bring to it? That's kind of interesting to me. That's what I want to see. Because I always felt like what they should have done is, and there's rumors that it's going to be in this game, is an election process. So I would like to see like an actual election, like where you're the mayor, you start off the mayor, and then maybe like 6 months later you have to like run, like maybe you're running for office, and you have to do things for the villagers in order to keep your popularity up. In order to get voted back into office. That would
be brilliant if you had a rival villager that you hated because they were beating you in the election polls.
Yeah.
And it's like you could like send them nasty letters and stuff. I think that would be brilliant.
That would be cool. That would be really cool, you know? So
I mean that's something that Animal Crossing lacks is any sort of villain character. You've got like Tom Nook, but where's he gone? Like he's really not there anymore, is it? It's like his sons that are running the business and shaking you down every now and then, but
so that's that's where we're at. All right, let's jump into our first topic, shall we?
Yeah.
So you threw this question at me earlier, and sometimes you'll throw questions at me, and I'm like, is he telling me he wants to talk about this on the show? Or is he just asking my opinion on stuff? And I was like, I'm going to save this one for the show. I'm not going to say nothing. But basically what you said was with the announcement of Mario Maker going from the Wii U to the 3DS, does that pretty much make it where we're not going to get ports to the NX? Because that was a rumor. Like Mario Maker, I think Splatoon, Smash. There was a handful of games that were supposed to be ported over at launch for the NX. So your question to me was like, well, does this now mean that we're not going to get this on the NX? Or are we not going to get ported games from the original to the NX? So what do you think?
And also, the second part of the question was, if we don't have these ports, then does that mean the NX might be backwards compatible with 3DS games?
Yeah,
so
that's true.
So but to answer the first thing, I feel like them putting Mario Maker on the 3DS this close to the supposed NX launch means that we're not getting Mario Maker at least at launch on NX, because what would be the point in having it out for 6 months on 3DS and then having it released again and have people buy it a third time on NX?
Unless, well, first off, we don't know what the pricing is going to be on the 3DS. So could it be a situation where Nintendo, like I said to you last week, maybe they're just going to give this to us? And it was kind of like, well, it's not really tied to anything, so how could they just give it to you if you already previously own it? Maybe that's what this is. If you buy the 3DS version, now it's going to be tied to your My Nintendo account. If you have that, then it becomes free on the backside. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they could essentially do that.
What they could do, I just thought, is if you buy a physical copy, because this is my thing, how do you tie a physical copy of a game to a digital account? And if inside the box they give you a code or something that you can type into your My Nintendo account, and then it can't be re-registered so you can't sell it on for somebody else to re-register, or if you do sell it, you have to disconnect it from your account. I don't know. But...
Well, I mean, the one thing that Nintendo's always done in the past was you could transfer content from one to the other. So maybe there's something where they go okay, put your Wii U next to your NX or vice versa, whatever, and then it just it shows that you have it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because it was SD cards and stuff.
Yeah. There was always stuff you could do to transfer the content from one console to the next.
Yeah.
Same thing with the 3DS. I'm always transferring data from one to the other. Maybe there's something that they're going to do with that. Where they're hey, if you own this, you get it for free. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't think. Look, the reason why Nintendo is putting this on the 3DS, they want more sales on the game. They felt like they spent a lot of time on the 3DS or on the Wii U building this game, and it just didn't get the sales that it needed. And the same thing with Yoshi's Woolly World. That's the reason why this stuff's getting ported. I know people are getting mad, oh, we're just getting remade. No, you got to understand. When we talked, you and I spoke to Julius and Brian from Image and Forum, and the conversation with them was, because I think you and I talked to Julius. Well, we talked Julius aside, I think, alone. And I was like, so PlayStation Plus, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? And he's like, well, it's good because you're guaranteed revenue. He said, but ultimately, we want people to play our games. So for us, it's we would rather, because there was data that shows that just because it's on PlayStation Plus and it's a free game of the month doesn't mean that people are going to play it, and they're we would rather people buy it because we know if they're buying it, they're going to play it, and we can know that hey, this guy bought it, he's playing it, and that's the ultimate goal for them as a game maker. They want people to play their games. So even as critically acclaimed as Mario Maker was, it didn't move consoles, and it didn't help Nintendo move the needle at all. So I think Nintendo's looking at that and they're going I think it's a twofold test. One, it gets more sales on a game that they know is a good game and that people really should have in their hands and be playing. Two, it helps them, if we are getting this hybrid console that everybody's talking about, it helps them test to say hey, we can move games that are on the Wii U, which is higher powered, to a smaller power console. And that's something that not many game developers are able to do. they're able to take something from the 3DS and easily move it up. Like when we talked to Image Inform, they said to us they start the 3DS. They build their game on the 3DS because they know if it runs on the 3DS, it's running on everything. Listen, the train's a little louder than normal. Okay,
is it?
Oh my god! I think
sorry,
it was loud.
Bobby.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's that one time it was loud for some reason. But their conversation to us was like, hey, we built it on the 3DS first, and then we know it can run on everything. We know it can run on PS4. We know it can run on Xbox. We know it can run on computers. It can run on the Wii U, and we don't have to worry about it. If they start at those high-res consoles and work their way down, then they have to start taking stuff away, and it becomes more of a job to get it on the lesser consoles. That's what's weird about this, where Nintendo's going like, hey, this ran on the Wii U. We're going to put it on the 3DS, and we're going to make it run seamlessly. And how do we do that? That, to me, is more exciting because when you look at that, you go, wait a minute, guys. Is this a tell of the future? Like, are they going to start moving these Wii U games over and porting them to the NX? Like Smash and Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon and all that. Like, are they going to move those games over so then that way people that didn't get to experience them on the Wii U can now play them? Like, when that list first came out, there was games on there that I was like, I'll rebuy them. Like, no doubt about it. I would rebuy them. Listen, as a Nintendo fan, a lot of us are trained to buy these things a million times anyway.
Yeah.
It's just, it's what they do. I would buy Splatoon again wholeheartedly, man. If they put it out, like, I know that I would like more content to be on there, and I'm sure Nintendo would throw more content on there. It doesn't have to be. I would buy it again just to play it with, because I know it would have a resurgence and people would, jump back on board and start playing again. I'd be all for it, man. So a game like Smash, would I rebuy it? I don't know, because like Smash is more like trophy hunting for me. So if there's really not a lot of content added to it, I don't know that I would buy it. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. What about you? Like, where's your mindset?
I feel like seeing that Mario Maker and Yoshi is coming to 3DS, to me that says one of two things. It's number one, I'd say they're definitely not coming to NX because I just don't see the point in having that short of a time between the port of these on 3DS. I mean, like Yoshi doesn't come out till next year, does it? On 3DS.
Yeah.
So it's like this is a bit too close to release it and then re-release it again on NX. Like, I don't think people are going to buy the same game 3 times.
Yeah.
No matter how much they're trained to.
Yeah.
But then part of me does wonder if NX is in some way backwards compatible with 3DS. I mean, that would be crazy if it was. I don't know what sort of technical magic they'd have to work there. Considering that NX is rumored to not have dual screens. I have seen people emulate 3DS games on PC, and when they do that, they have like almost like they emulate DS games on Wii U. You've got the option of having like the bottom screen be large, and then next to it is the top screen shrunk down, or the top and the bottom together shrunk down.
Mm-hmm.
So like they could do something like that. When you put a cart in, it automatically does it like that. But I don't know.
Yeah, but think about it. What games require 2 screens on the 3DS?
Well,
there's not many.
Not many, but
a lot of them are just maps.
But even still, like
Animal Crossing is you're playing the game on the top screen, and the bottom screen is just a map the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it would work if it was connected to your TV, like the gamepad thing.
If that's what it is. There's also
exactly.
talks that like when you pop them controllers off and you put that in the brain per se, it's not a dual screen. I think a lot of people assume that it was going to be a dual screen immediately, and that's not sounding like the way they're going with this. Which also, like, people are like, and I think I brought this up last week. The question is like, well, how would you bring Mario Maker to the Wii or to the NX? And to me, they just did when they announced, and that could be what it is essentially. Like, if you move Mario Maker to the 3DS, there's your drawing application, there's your map building stuff. So if the 3DS, which I almost can guarantee you, the 3DS is going to talk to the NX. I mean, the 3DS talks to the Wii U, so I don't see why the 3DS wouldn't talk to the NX. So if that's the case, there's no reason why you can't build your levels on your 3DS and then throw them up onto the NX.
That would be cool.
Or what if the gamepad's compatible with it? Or you can actually draw your stuff on the gamepad, and then put it up and then actually play the thing. So I think we're wide open for different opportunities here for Nintendo to absolutely move that game over. I think Mario Maker becomes a game that's on every console forever.
It should be.
Yeah. I don't think it should ever stop. Like Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet, like every console, whether they go to Vita or they went to PS3 or to PS4, like every one, all those levels that are built just continue to build. Like you can go back and play them old levels.
And the thing is, like, they could keep adding to it, like you say, almost like Minecraft gets these updates all the time. And maybe instead of having Mario Maker on NX at launch, maybe towards the end of next year at Christmas, they put an NX version that's the definitive version that comes with maybe a Super Mario Bros. 2 skin that you can't get on the other ones, or like different new things added to it. Like, there is stuff that they could add to it to make it feel like worthwhile purchasing again.
Absolutely. And I would buy it. If they did that, they put Super Mario Bros. 2 in there.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it when the game first originally came out, like what we wanted added to it. That was my biggest thing. I wanted Super Mario Bros. 2 skins. So, yeah, they'd have me back in a second, and they got me on this one because, I mean, like I said, unless it's $60, which I don't see it being, even 40, I think I might balk a little bit. I don't know, but I definitely want it. Now, I already pre-ordered. A lot of it's tied to the amiibo, but I pre-ordered Yoshi's Woolly World for the 3DS. A lot of it because I wanted the game anyway. I love that game. I think that game is amazing, but a lot of it was because of the Poochie amiibo. Yeah. So, and they come bundled together. But that's the other thing. Like Nintendo could start bundling stuff together to make it more feasible for stuff to go over. I don't like a game like Fire Emblem. There's no reason why that can't be backwards compatible. Like if we are cartridge based, which I think we're going to be, I think the cartridges are going to look like 3DS cartridges. There's no reason why they wouldn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if they look like 3DS cartridges, then that's a no brainer. You
know what they'll do though is if they look like 3DS cartridges, 3DS has got the little nugget in the top right, so you can't put a 3DS card in a original DS.
Yes.
So the NX will probably have a nugget on the other side, so you can't put an NX cartridge in a 3DS.
That's you're probably right. And the thing too is, I think too, where the two screens come into play, the DS was more of that where you needed both screens.
Yeah.
The 3DS wasn't so much. The 3DS kind of got to that point where it was like it's typically just a map at the bottom. Like, look at SteamWorld Heist. SteamWorld Heist is a map on the bottom. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And I love that map being on the bottom. I like it so much better than playing on the PS4, like, because it's always constantly there. And I think that's the better version of that game is on the 3DS. So for me, I can totally see them making the 3DS backwards compatible with the NX. And if they are porting these games over, then that could potentially be good.
Right, 3DS games that I would love to play on the big TV. So if it is backwards compatible, then that means I could play A Link Between Worlds on my HD TV. It might not look amazing because it's built for a 3DS screen, but I would just love to play that on a TV screen. Like
that one upset me when it came on the 3DS because even though as much as I loved it, I was just like, man, I loved playing that original one on my big TV and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm with you on that one. That would be awesome. So, of the Wii U catalog, are there any other games that you would be like, hey, I'd like to see this move over to the 3DS?
Really, I was thinking about it, and a lot of the best 3DS games have already got a port. A lot of the best Wii U games have already got a port on the 3DS or some sort of different version. So you got Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 7.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that one.
You got two versions of Smash.
Yeah,
you've got Mario 3D World and Mario 3D Land.
Mm-hmm.
So they're quite similar. So I was thinking, all right, so what haven't they got? And you're probably gonna whatever, but I would love to see Captain Toad on a 3DS.
That would be good. I think that could
work.
Yeah, absolutely, that could work, and that would be a good one to bring over. Another game that everybody should have played, and I don't think it got as much play as people expected, or it should have gotten, and because it's a really fun game. It's just I love that game. That game is so much fun.
Really good.
For me, definitely Splatoon. I would love to see Splatoon brought.
See, I knew you would say that.
Yeah, because it's got the ability to do like it motion controls as well.
Yeah, it has.
So I would love to see Splatoon brought over.
I think the thing is with Splatoon is that's such a gorgeous game in HD, and I feel like the visual downgrade, you know, with all the paint flying around, like I don't know how nice it would look, if it would affect gameplay or not, but
I think it would still look fine. I don't think it would be,
you know, because what we're not really thinking about here is that the 3DS is way underpowered compared to the Wii U, and
yeah.
When we've already seen some games like Hyrule Warriors take a hit on the 3DS, like with the amount of enemies on screen, the frame rate, and even Xenoblade, like, is a Wii game that is visually quite a lot worse than it was on the Wii. And I know Nintendo are bloody good at what they do, and if anyone's going to make it work, it's going to be them. But then I do worry, like, if these games would run as well on 3DS. Like,
I don't think a game like Splatoon would be too much of an issue. At the max, you have 8 people that are on the screen at a time.
It's not but like it's a
Hyrule Warriors. You have a lot of people on.
Yeah, but like Splatoon is a 3D game, and you can move the camera all around. The environments are 3D, and it's like silky smooth gameplay.
Yeah.
But like Mario Maker and Yoshi are 2D side scrollers, and there's a lot less like intense.
Don't destroy my dreams, okay? This is what I want. I don't care. Don't beat my dreams down, man. This is what I would love to play.
Yeah. I mean, Captain Toad's 3D as well, but I think that's a slower paced game.
But it's a slow paced game.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's way slower. I agree with Captain Toad. Trying to think if there's anything else that I would really want ported over. Pikmin 3.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 definitely would be awesome.
See, I would rather that than the side-scrolling Pikmin game that we saw in the Direct.
Well, I like what they're doing. I like that because that game does interest me, what I've seen so far of it. I'm willing to give it a shot and try it. I would love to see a Pikmin 3. I'd like to even see them bring Pikmin 1 or 2 over to it, just to have it on there. But it's fine. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all I would really, and I'm sure there's somebody screaming at us right now going like,
yeah, I mean, I was thinking about some of the other good games on Wii U, like Bayonetta and stuff, but I just don't think that would work.
I think a game like Bayonetta would never work. Because that's a Hyrule Warriors type thing where you have a lot of enemies on screen. It's all about fast-paced action.
Yeah.
I think you would have a problem. Yeah, I don't.
They could bring Tropical Freeze over. Because didn't they bought Donkey Kong Country Returns?
That came from the Wii.
It did.
From the Wii, yeah. They could do Tropical Freeze.
Essentially, it's the same game.
It's pretty much the same game.
Yeah.
They could bring Tropical Freeze. I think they could bring anything over. Really, they're so good at that. That's the thing that when you look at what Nintendo does, they're really good at that stuff. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Okay, so last topic, real quick. So we just got off this announcement last week, the Snooze Fest, or 2 weeks ago from Sony about the PlayStation Pro. Of everything that's kind of announced and what we know what's coming, minus the NX, because we know we're going to get the NX. That's not even a question. PlayStation Slim, PlayStation 4 Slim, Xbox One Slim, PlayStation 4 Pro, and the Scorpio that's coming. Of those 4, which would you lean to buy next of these 4, and why are you leaning that way?
So I'm not interested in any of the Slim models because I just don't like how they look, and I prefer my PlayStation 4 I've got currently. But out of the 2 powerhouses that are coming up, I think like Scorpio is clearly going to be way more powerful than the Pro.
Oh yeah.
So if I was really into high-end gaming and I wanted the most out of my graphics and frame rate, then I would probably consider it, but you know, most of the time, I'm a PlayStation gamer. I love like the Sony exclusives, like Uncharted, that looks amazing. You know, if there's a Last of Us sequel that is PS4 Pro, like, you know, that's obviously going to look intensely amazing, and I'm not going to be able to play that on any Xbox. So I feel like as for the games that I'd be playing, I'd definitely lean more towards the Pro, even though, you know, third-party games would be on both, and they probably look better on Xbox. Because I'm more into the Sony exclusive side of things, then I would definitely lean towards the Pro. Especially, I reckon the Pro is going to be a lot cheaper than the Scorpio.
Oh yeah, Scorpio's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, so like if I'm
rumors are it's tipping up to like $900.
Yeah, there's no way Karina would let me spend that money on it.
No.
So like, you know, if I can get The Last of Us 2 or whatever, you know, whatever Naughty Dog comes out next, you know, if there's a new GTA or anything that, because I play GTA with my friends on PlayStation, so if I got it on Xbox, I couldn't play with them. So, so I'm definitely more of a inclined towards the Pro on that. So.
For me, at this moment, I don't want the PlayStation Slim. I want nothing to do with that thing. I mean, I got a 4 already. It makes no sense for me to not downgrade, but to move laterally. The Pro, I really don't have any interest in the Pro at this moment. It makes no sense for me to upgrade to that. It's not like it's that much more powerful than a PS4. It's, you know, and with them saying that everything's going to play on the one, it's on the other. I'm interested to see who's going to support. I mean, other than in-house Sony, I don't know that you're going to get third parties really supporting it that much because they don't want to have to put it through, you know, QA twice and have to pay Sony twice to get it. Unless Sony changes their attitude with that, I don't see how that's going to work. But that's either here or there. For me, honestly, I'm leaning towards the Xbox One Slim. Just because there's a lot of games hitting the Xbox One I'm really interested in now. And, you know, Record just came out. I know it's coming out to some mixed reviews and such, but that game's always been on my radar for sure. Cuphead's coming out. That game looks phenomenal. That game looks amazing. Like I really want to try that. Rare Replay. I'd like to get back into playing some of them old games. You know, that's a Nintendo game. I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you're on an Xbox, that's a Nintendo game. You know,
definitely, yeah.
So for me, that's like no brainer. You know, I think the sports games like Madden and all them, they're going to be better on Xbox because just EA works very closely with Xbox. So I would like to have that in my. Plus, I like that. Like Sean is part of that EA, whatever EA Access, and dude, that's. At first, I thought it was garbage, you know, but I was like, dude, this is kind of like he's playing stuff months in advance, trying it out. You know, they're putting betas out on stuff that are exclusive to that. Plus, you can get games for free. Like, it's like PlayStation Plus and you know, and I was like, but it's only on Xbox. It's not on PlayStation. So I was like, well, maybe I'll take a look at that, you know, and so I don't know. I'm just looking at Xbox a little bit differently lately. And I'm just like, I might just. Maybe I'll ask for Christmas. You know, maybe tell Tony to pick me up one for Christmas and make it easy on her. That way she just gets me that, and it's no brainer. Especially with the NX not coming this Christmas. But that's kind of where I'm leaning. I would like to go Scorpio, but I just feel like that's going to be out of my price range. I'm not spending $900 on a console. But what I like about the Xbox Slim is it's 4K ready. So if I do upgrade to a 4K TV, it's already ready to go. I don't have to buy, you know, a Pro to do it. It's cheaper than the PS4 Pro. Has a Blu-ray player in it for 4K, which
that is a good selling feature that the Pro doesn't have.
I don't understand how the Pro, which listen, Blu-ray is Sony. That's Sony's stuff. Yeah. How the hell does your competitor? It seems
bizarre. Yeah.
How does your competitor have it in their console and you don't put it in your console? Makes no sense. So
obviously, I think they're going for a keen price. Yeah. And if that puts their console up by even like $20, $30, like that's going to start making them look more expensive. Because at the moment, they're pricing it at the same price that the PS4 was at launch. and that's a really good price. I mean, you consider it's, all right, the PS4 has been out, what, 3 years now?
Yeah.
And it's still like, it's going to be the same price it was and better. Like,
it's great for people that are just jumping on board.
Yes,
but I'm not, now there was talks at one point, like, and I might still do it, like, but there's really no co-op games, for the PS4 that, but Tony and I were at first talking about getting a second PS4 for her TV down here, so that way we could play Minecraft together and all that. But then I was like, I'm not buying a PS4 for one game. That makes no sense. No. You know what I mean? Like, we have Minecraft on the Wii U for both of them. So if she wants to play, we can play that version together. And it's not that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only difference between Minecraft is the world building is so huge on the PS4.
Yeah.
Whatever,
To me, like, the Pro is perfect for people that don't already have a PS4. And it's like the least amount of incentive to buy it is for the people that already have a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So people like us, we're thinking, Xbox is probably a better option if we're going to buy another console.
That's the thing. If I'm going to spend $400 on a console, I'd rather spend $300 on an Xbox One Slim.
Yeah.
And get something that's just as powerful as the PS4 I have sitting over there. Well, not just powerful for the PS4. It's less powerful than the PS4, but it does more than the PS4 does, like with the 4K up-res and all that stuff, like the 4K built into it. I don't know. Phil Spencer, I like that guy, and that's what's made me look at Xbox harder the past couple of years. It's like everything he says, I'm like, man, dude, I wish Nintendo had a president like this, like that just talks to the fans. He's a true gamer, that like he talks to the fans, and he does stuff, and that's the thing with Xbox. And it could just be, they all kind of go through this when they're the low dog on the totem pole. They start to get aggressive and start to talk and do things. But once they get up top there, they don't really, do that anymore. They kind of like think they have the world by the nads. So,
yeah.
So that's it. That is all. Thank you guys for listening to us. iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, watching us on YouTube, however you did that. We got one more thing to do here, though, before we go. I almost forgot, and I looked over at the bag, and I was like, so last week we did a giveaway, or we announced the giveaway we were going to do. We have some names in a bag. We have PS4 versions of SteamWorld Dig and SteamWorld Heist that we're giving away. We were going to give away 2 versions, one for the EU and one for NA. So there was only one person from the EU that entered the contest. So by proxy, he wins. And that's going to go to Barry Dunn of Nintendo Back Gaming.
Or you chump British listeners didn't do the retweet. You missed it out.
Like, what's wrong with drumming, man? Like, I can't believe he didn't, it's ridiculous.
What is wrong with Drummy?
Yeah, free game, and he doesn't. Idiot. So, but the NA guys and ladies, I put their names in a bag here.
In a Disney bag.
So it's going to be a magical win.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to mix them up here so you guys can see. And we're going to pull a name out. I got one name I'm pulling out now, and it is John Bernardo. So you can't.
Yeah, it's very.
There you go. There you go.
I see it.
John Bernardo. So you can read it. That's who won.
Congratulations, John.
Congratulations, John. I will get these codes out tomorrow after the podcast airs or something. It doesn't matter. Whatever. They'll get them. I'm going to send the codes out. I'll DM them to you guys via Twitter. But thank you guys for all listening and entering the contest. We are going to do another giveaway. We still have more codes to give away. But next week, it was supposed to be this week, but Julius jammed up at work and got crazy busy, and he's just exhausted this weekend. So he asked if he could come next weekend. I was like, absolutely. You come anytime you want. I don't care. So he's going to be on next week. I'd like to have him on, since we're going to give away their game and all that. And so we'll have him part of it and all that. So that is all. Thank you guys again, listening, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, watching us on YouTube. I said that once already, but whatever. You can follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. You can follow Toby, Instagram, at Amiibo_workshop, Twitter, at Toby's_take. That is all. Peace out, Cub Scout.
I was gonna say that. Oh my god, see me later. Oh. I was hoping you were gonna do the see me later, and I could do the Cub Scout.
I'm gonna have you and Sean so mixed up for the next couple weeks. I'm just gonna start changing stuff up, man. Have you guys all mixed up so you guys can't do what they do.
Ruining my plans.